Well, Bryan was a big outdoor guy, mountain biker, big skier. Everybody always wanted to hang out with Bryan. He was born with a condition called an arteriovenous malformation. And it's something that we found back when he was 15 years old because he was having a significant number of headaches. People who have this condition, their risk of having a brain bleed or hemorrhage is quite elevated, right? In the case of Bryan's, it was big enough where it was almost certain that at some point in his life, he would basically have some sort of brain bleed. So on March 13th, 2020, he had a very significant brain bleed. He was probably within minutes of passing away, and thankfully he was only 5 minutes away from the hospital. But he was in a coma for a number of months. 3.5 months after his injury, we basically loaded Bryan on a plane. We moved out to Denver for 6 months while he was at Craig Hospital. We were at home. The staff, the doctors, the care team, and then meeting all of the other families that were there for the same reason we were, it felt so good, you know, to be able to have that, right, while we're going through such a difficult time.
Tel's a very active kid. He was in 4-H for 10 years. He loved working on the ranch and riding, and decided to go to Northeastern Junior College in Sterling with an ag emphasis and on a rodeo scholarship. Fun-loving, easygoing, always helpful, kind, a little bit of a smart aleck, but yeah, great kid.
My family homesteaded here in 1883, and we bought part of the ranch here, and we keep busy 7 days a week, 24 hours a day. And Tel was part of that learning and passing the history and the family ranch on to that generation.
Tel was crossing a railroad crossing, going to feed cows of ours, and was struck by a train. Tel was transported by ambulance to the Sterling Hospital, and then taken flight for life from there to Denver Health.
3 hours of driving and not knowing what to look at. We just heard he was in an accident.
I remember them saying, if or when he wakes up. That was probably one of the hardest days. He's had a lot of, probably over 20 surgeries, and then May 26th, we got to go to Craig Hospital. I knew we were in the right place. It's a good feeling.
Woo! Nice job, Tel.
We were starting to think about going home and the complexity of that. It was very stressful. It was stress, but it was something that we can manage. But for most people, that stress is significant. In fact, it can be just as stressful dealing with that as the original injury itself. October 2020, I remember waking up in the middle of the night and I said, okay, tomorrow's the day that we're gonna go figure this out. And that was the beginning of the Going Home Fund. The people that the fund is helping are really a variety of different people. It can be as simple as a spinal cord injury patient that's in a wheelchair and may need just a ramp to get in and out of their house. On the other end of the spectrum, there are families with very complex brain injuries, much like our son Bryan, that are, basically can't move from the neck down. There's, been families where the fund has helped put even elevators in so that the family member could get into a space where they can comfortably sleep and live. Once again, the alternatives, they go to a nursing home. This has allowed them to stay in the home and for their family to take care of them. And the fact that that happens, it brings tears to my eyes, right? That we can help make that happen.
I've been in debt to Craig forever.
Yeah.
It's amazing the things they can do, and taught us how to do it, helped us with our home to bring him home and get us prepared for that. They changed our life and his life.
Emma, Tel's care manager, was phenomenal. She just did everything she could think of to help us bring Tel home. And part of that was going to the Craig Foundation and granting us some money to help make the home renovations for Tel. Yeah, home is where we wanted to be. We are set up where either one of us could solo for a day or two. So we have a ramp on our deck as well as in the garage when we unload him from the van. And we took our existing mud room, we called it, and they put the overhead lift in so we can transport Tel from bed to chair, etc. And we put in a roll-in shower and a commode and a sink. People that have given, thank you. It's life-changing. It often brings us to tears. We're very blessed. If we didn't have the money for the overhead lift or for the shower,
Couldn't do it. He'd have to lay in bed all day.
then that's no way to live.
No, not for anybody.
No. He needs to be part of our family. Tel's changed so much since he's been home. Yesterday, he saw his roping horse for the first time. It was amazing. Wilbur came right up to him and Tell fed him and giggled a little bit when he ate out of his hand, and it was awesome. Yeah, he responds well. Ranch therapy is what we call it.
You know, we were just the ones to help kick it off. And there were hundreds of people that have donated and basically saw the vision and were aligned with what we could do together to go help these families. And to those of you who have helped out, we really want to thank you. You know, you'll see the impact that it's had, and I know that you'll appreciate and feel good about that. And as we've sort of gone through this summer and realized, boy, we need to keep this going. My wife Sharon and I have decided that, you know, we're going to move forward and do another significant donation as a matching donation. We really feel strongly about keeping this Going Home Fund alive and well, right, forever, right, because of the impact that we've seen it can have on families.
Thank you to everyone who has donated to the Going Home Fund. Many couldn't have made it back home without your support.